Go.
All right. So this is take two of the Knicks Hornets post-game live stream. Apologies, we had to stop and restart. I am going to give everybody who was in the other live stream a second to get over here. But just to finish up on what I was saying before about Julius Randle, which is that, yes, he was completely checked out tonight. I've never seen a more obvious example of a player who was checked out. I thought he was checked out from the beginning of the game. I thought it was very interesting the fact that he drove and got the and one there with like 3 or 4 minutes left. It's the first time he drove the ball all game. I think anytime you want to know about Julius Randle's level of engagement, look at his 3-pointers and look at how many threes he shoots and how often he's content to just stand behind the 3-point line. When a guy who's shooting 31% from 3 takes 10 3-pointers in a game, that's like it's making it blatantly obvious that he does not care about doing the things necessary to win the game. So good comment there. Continuing along, Jeremy E. Julius Randle has zero respect for the game of basketball. Freezing out RJ in the third was disgusting too. Yeah, he is annoyed. He's openly and actively annoyed, I believe, with the fact that this is RJ's the organization is clearly going in this direction. And he's letting but again, that's why what I said at the top of the show, there's a part of me that can't believe I don't think, for as much as it would have like not been good for his trade value, there's a part of me that thinks it's organizationally unsound to continue playing this person at this point in the season. It can't be healthy. It can't be healthy for the locker room. And I don't know how much longer we have to watch it, but to me, like, when I'm thinking back to this game as like the root cause of why this game ended up the way it did, I'm thinking of Julius Randle, not the coach. Although it's the coach who puts him in. So you know what? Maybe all those come back to Tibbs anyway. Ryan Huang, Fournier had the quietest 30-point game of the season. Yeah, I mean, he bailed them out a lot of times particularly in the first half, but definitely the third quarter too. He bailed them out on a lot of possessions. And I think without those bailouts, there's a chance that they probably lose this game by 20. So is that, yeah, I mean, you can say that, but yeah, I understand why you're saying that. I think that it was more the game flow that made it a quiet 30 points, but point well taken. Drew P, what's going on, Drew? RJ and IQ are the two guys who should be starting next year. Yeah, no disagreement there. I hate to say it because I love RJ, and I had a whole piece today in the Knicks Film School newsletter about why I think if the Knicks have to give him a max contract to stay here and sign this summer, I would do it if I were them. Probably a controversial take because I'm all in on him, and I think he's all in it for the right reasons. However, you gotta consistently bring it on both ends. If you're a max player, you have to consistently bring it on both ends. And tonight, I didn't think he brought it on defense. Your rest of your comment, Drew. Julius Randle to Dallas for Bertans, or Hardaway and picks. Perfect place from Randle mentally and play wise. I don't want any part of Bertans. Hardaway and picks. Sure. What picks are we getting? Is Dallas really sending us multiple first-round picks for Julius Randle? Are they sending us like another protected first? I have no idea, but at this point, I would think about it, and I know people are probably annoyed that I'm making this about Randle when all anybody wants to make it about is Tibbs. I watch the game that I watch, and, you watch the game that you watch, and we come away with our opinions, I guess. Perry G, they seem to quit. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. On defense, the team seemed to quit. How did Bridges get that open 4 times in a row? They didn't get defensive rebounds in crucial moments. The one where they didn't get after Burks had the goaltend and the foul call was the play of the game. And then obviously the 3 after that. That's what's frustrating, along with ISO hero ball. Chuck's IQ 23 minutes, Burks 41. Yeah, it's not an equitable distribution based on how they're playing and based on what we're seeing. So yeah, no disagreement. Bad eyesight. What's going on, man? What do you think about starting Quick next year and signing Rubio to a 1-year deal? I believe he can show Quick the point guard ropes. Play with Rose makes our bigs' lives easier. He was big for the Cavs in that role. I really like Ricky Rubio. Again, I've referenced this a few times. There was a few times earlier this season. Some NBA content creator suggested that the Knicks would be in such a better position if they had traded for Rubio instead of signed Kemba Walker this summer. And I don't disagree with that. Rubio is an ideal point guard for what they do, assuming the team was still built around Randle and RJ. If we're moving off of Randle, I think we need someone else with a little bit of gravity in that starting five. I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with Quickly, and I love Quickly. I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with Quickly as the guy with like the second most, I don't know, the secondary engine on the starting five. So I would need to know who else is going in. It's like Obi going into that starting five. That's the only thing. But I like the idea of Rubio. I've always liked Rubio. I don't know if Rubio is going to want to play for Tibbs again after he played for him for a year in Minnesota, and then Tibbs shipped him off. But you never know. Crazier things have happened. Okay, continuing along. Okay, Shamik Gann, what's going on, Shamik? Was it Tibbs' plan to not play Mitch or Sims in the fourth and have RJ help off the corner to be the paint protection? One of a few questionable calls. I have no idea. We saw the play and then we saw the replay on playback. Like, I don't think it was that. I think, and you saw Tibbs talking to RJ after the possession that I think you're talking about. And it wasn't just one possession, it was a few possessions where I think there was maybe RJ was expecting the wing to rotate down, whoever the wing was that was guarding the shooter at the top of the arc. Either way, like, it was bad. It was bad. It was not the sort of defense that you want to see a team playing in game, 76 or whatever the hell it is, game 77. That said, I can't kill Tibbs or the team for the defense. They've been the fifth best defense. Before tonight, they were the fifth best defense in the league since the All-Star break. So I think tonight was, again, for me, it all really does come back to Randle. And the fact that he got to go out there and play after what he pulled the last game, that's, I don't know. I would imagine it would be hard to concentrate if I was a player on the Knicks, with that being the situation. But what do I know? Mike Conrad. I've been a big defender of Tibbs, but him taking IQ out there at the end blew my mind, blew everybody's mind. It's hard to want Tibbs back when he does crap like this. Yeah, it's easy to say that. And then, you look up and there's a whole bunch of numbers to say that he's a guy who knows how to coach. But he is also a guy whose own decision making, I don't know how you can. And again, I say this as someone who is a defender of his. I don't know how you can look at his decision making as a coach and say that you have utter, total, and complete confidence in it moving forward. And again, I'm the guy who defends Tibbs, and I just don't know. I don't know how you. I don't know how you do it. Anyway, just moved over to a different page with the super chats here. Lunas and Marat still laughing at Bledsoe being souped up Alfred. That was a good line by Benji. Yeah, shout out to Benji. Good pod today for anybody who missed it. Benji Ridholtz and me talked about all kinds of things. So check that out. Hush Sue. Burks 4 for 15, 41 minutes. Just how I know he played well last couple, but he was really off tonight. It just doesn't make sense. 2 shots for RJ in the third. I think Tibbs cares about his win percentage over development. I don't. Tibbs see, but the irony in that comment is that Tibbs believes that win percentage and development are the same thing. He believes that if you are winning games and you have young players playing and winning games, playing in a winning environment, that's the best sort of development. So to him, Alec Burks playing 41 minutes and then winning a game, and the young players knowing that they contributed to a win and that they had to play to a certain level to get into the game in which they won, Tibbs sees that as a good thing. Not every coach feels the same way. So yeah. And also just what it's worth on Burks, I didn't think he played a bad game. I think he didn't shoot well. So this one from Chip Murphy. What's going on, Chip? How you doing? Back to reality. At least it wasn't Mikal Bridges who spoiled the fun of the win streak. That would have stung more. Yeah. Back to reality. It was the little win streak was fun while it lasted. Juan Cruz, thanks for the contribution. I don't have anything here for you with your contribution, but thank you. Hush Zoo. Also, take out his defense. Is Evan Fournier the best three-point shooter we've ever had? My goodness. Is Evan Fournier the best three-point shooter the Knicks have ever had? No. No. I think I don't even know how you answer that question. Because like the guy who like, if you need, he does make some really freaking tough shots. He's not in that conversation yet for me. He's been on the team for 1 year. But I get what you're saying. Is he the guy who could like consistently make the most difficult 3-pointers? I don't know. The game has changed so much. I mean, I think of Allen Houston when I think of the greatest 3-point shooter the Knicks have ever had. Starks obviously deserves mention. Jamal Crawford made some pretty good tough threes. Steve Novak, Novocaine, it's pretty good. They've had some good ones. But Fournier definitely deserves mention. That's for sure. Lunas and Marat, one more. Mitch value shows in playoffs. Riley said it best. For our future, rebounding is huge in the playoffs. Pace slows. Each offensive rebound is important. I'd pay up for him. Yeah, I think, I'm going to have something on Mitch later in the week, either tomorrow or Friday in the newsletter. And I just wonder sometimes what your ceiling is as a team if you have a guy offensively who is just a very limited player. But yes, his offensive rebounding was the best thing they had going tonight. You could argue that he was the best Knick tonight. I just don't know how much you want to give that guy. The going rate is $11-12 million a year, $12-13 million a year, something like that. Will he accept that? Is someone going to come and blow him away with a bigger offer? If they do the Knicks want to match that? Is that good business? I don't know. But he does one thing really, really, really well, and he blocks shots pretty well too. So that's two things. So that's pretty good. Okay. Oh wait, I just saw the rest of Hush's comment. The degree of difficulty on some of his shots is insane. Novak, JR, Crawford, Melo, H2O all come to mind, of course. Yeah, I think you named the guys. For sure. Okay. I think that is all that I have as far as super chats go. Oh wait, no, I have to refresh the page. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm refreshing the page. This is me refreshing the page. Thank you, Andrew. Andrew giving live tech support during a live stream is just like the perfect way to end this next season. Yes, we have a lot more. Okay, here we go. All right. Why does this is from who's this from? Tyler Michaels. What's going on, Tyler? Why does Tibbs get no credit for the progression of Mitch, RJ, Quickly, etc.? We all love the young players and the improvement. Tibbs and his staff deserve credit too. I mean, you're obviously preaching to the choir there. I think they should get credit. I think the front office deserves credit too. I think every situation is an individual situation to look at kind of on its own. But at the same time, I think you judge development of young players based on, I'm going to sound like Tibbs here. Are they doing the little things that contribute to winning games? And well, tonight, we didn't see a lot of that on the defensive end. I think generally speaking this year, the reason why Knick fans so clamor for these kids is it's not that like their shooting percentages are that much better or like anything else. They do the little things. They bring the energy. They're motivated, like all the things. Like I do think that is coaching. Why does nobody want to give Tibbs credit for it? Because they're too focused on the really frustrating and maddening decisions that Thibodeau makes. And I have come to accept that is just the way it is. And I'm not going to fight it anymore. And that's fine. Because it is earned. He earns all of it. There's no defending it anymore. So I hope that answered your question. Nicholas saying, do you think Tibbs still plays the vets heavy minutes over the youth after we're mathematically eliminated from reaching the play-in? That's a good question. He's not going to play just the kids. For instance, I don't think you're going to wake up the morning after they're eliminated and going to see like Randle out, rest, Fournier out, rest, Burks out, rest. I think you'll see some days off. The one for me is Randle. Do they keep playing Randle after they're mathematically eliminated? That's the only thing I care about myself. I think it's 50-50. I really wouldn't be surprised either way. Here we go. So Tibbs on the Knicks tragic number being down to 1. You're not eliminated until you're eliminated. Great. And then here's Julius Randle apparently on the WFAN report that he asked for a trade after Monday's game. It's not true. It's just not true. Simple as that. It's just not true at all. Okay. I guess we'll find out soon enough. CT Pittman just beat this team last week with Obi starting, just saying. Yeah, because there was so much energy for that game. The energy and the commitment to doing the little – I mean, they played such good defense against the Hornets last week. They played with so much energy, with so much commitment to doing all the aforementioned little things that you need to do to win games. They won 121-106. And I think even that was like not really indicative of how solid their defense was in that game. It's just Randle is just, it's a pall. It's just an absolute pall over everything. And he needs to go. That's all there is to it. True story, Jay. Just play the kids now. No more excuses. I'm not disagreeing with you. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think there is a divide at this point in the fan base where there are people who are like mad at Randle, but mostly putting the season on Tibbs. And there are people who are like mad/perturbed by Tibbs, but who are putting the season on Randle. And I'm in the latter group. I think a lot of people are in the former group. Obviously, we'll see which way the organization goes by their actions this summer. Lunas and Marat, I still need your Randle theories. I'm going to keep asking. Man, I think it's off the court. I think Randle's deterioration into said puddle has to do with off the court. A guy doesn't turn into this from last season without it being something off the court. That's all I'm going to say. And then Parrish Duggar, RJ and Burks were turnstiles. RJ's D is terrible. It was bad tonight. I don't really have much to say. Burks, we've seen him be a little turnstile-y at times. He has not been a great defender this year. I would probably argue he has not even been a very good defender this year. I I don't think he's been any worse than anybody else, though, in terms of the average. Let me rephrase that. I think Alec Burks' defense for this team this year has been at about the median. You know, but yeah. Okay. I think that is it. Again, apologies about the technical difficulties tonight and that we had to go over and create a new live stream. Blame my internet, which sometimes rears its ugly head. The Knicks have 5 games left. Thank you for being here with us until almost the very end. We hope you stay with us until the very end. But until the next time we talk, enjoy yourselves, and we will talk to you soon.